welcome to Friday Nights with Friends, Rainy Nights episode. Tonight we have with us Motobomb. Must be your first time on this channel. I was on yours last night. So tell us a little bit about yourself real quick.
Say again?
Tell me a little bit about yourself.
YouTuber, motovlog guy, tattoo artist by trade. Nothing too. Got a dad, a father. How's that?
That's perfect.
But yeah, I wasn't ready for the test. I didn't study.
You did just fine.
Pop quiz.
I'm like,
Pop quiz.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
Yeah.
Then we got my favorite sweaty camp out buddy, Jake from State Farm,
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
who just came back from a camp out. So thanks for making
Had
time.
a rally last weekend.
How was that?
It was good. Weather was really good. Nighttime it got to like low 40s, so I was glad I took a sleeping bag with me. I didn't take my hat, so I got sunburn all on my forehead and on my arms.
Yeah.
But it was a great time.
Absolutely. And then we have Buck. Buck Brown.
Who drives a truck?
Buck in a truck. My name is Buck. I like to truck.
And I don't give a darn.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And always carry Vaseline, because sometimes it's, never mind, we all know.
It's not so clean sometimes. Yeah.
And then we have Sick Bastard, who has been on this channel before, hadn't been on in a while. But as you guys remember from one of my last videos, he won the Dyna that I wanted. What is it? White Lightning, I believe is what that was.
FXR.
Beautiful FXR, souped up, scary. It's like riding a horse.
It was
Yeah,
a
it's
gorgeous
nice.
bike.
Absolutely. And then there's me. You're I would say modest host, but we all know better.
Long-suffering host.
So welcome to the channel. Tonight we have a giveaway. Let me cover this first. And so I had a friend who made a whole bunch of coasters for me with the channel logo on them. He made them in a few different flavors here. See if we can.
Nice.
And
Where did they come from?
my friend Jay, who was on about 3 weeks ago, I guess.
Yeah.
Does leather and stonework and
nice.
laser etching. And he made these for me to give away tonight. So I'm going to be giving away one of these sets to one lucky person in the live chat.
Wow.
Now, here's what you got to do to win. You have to comment in the live chat. So, comment in the live chat. Tell me what
You
you're...
just have to be chatting then, huh?
You got to be chatting. You got to get involved. You can't be hiding.
Yes.
So tonight, so far...
No lurking.
Yeah, first one in was Crash. I'll make sure Crash, you get more stickers, I guess. We'll give you something cool for being the first one to comment. Diana Pillion Style, who is not allowed in the contest because she is actually putting all the names into the wheel.
Excluded.
Dry Heat Doug, well, she gets all she wants. She can get whatever she wants from me anyway. Dry Heat Doug, my salty brother from another mother. And Adventures of the Key Fob, my little bearded buddy.
Key fob.
Evil Rick is in tonight. Salty Badger is in. And Christian Biker. And so, any guys duck in, make sure you comment. Put more comments down. But that's right now, that's the people who are going to be able to make it. So without further ado.
No cheating, sick bastard. Don't be typing in the comments.
Well, once you, well, nope, you're entitled. Comment in there. We'll put your name in too. That works. Funny enough, so the last person who won fair and square. However, there was someone in second place who was just getting random people, because last time we had a vote, and there was people who didn't even follow the channel were voting, and I can tell. So when someone votes, their name comes up, and if I don't recognize the name, it's like, who's this person? So it turned out that one person had all their friends and relatives commenting, and they were all from literally from the same city. So I know it was cheating, and it was a city on the West Coast. So we don't get a whole lot of West Coast people on the channel because most people are from Florida, Georgia, Mississippi, Tennessee, North, South Carolina, that area. So we don't get a lot of West Coasters. So I figured next time we're going to do something a little different. We've got to make sure that it's actually someone who's watching the channel. So let's see what's going on in the chat.
How come I can't see anybody else talk?
All right. So we will get everybody in there. All right. So tonight we're going to talk about the things you go camping with that you just can't live without. Something by trial and error that you have learned you need to have with you every time you go camping. All right, let's check the studio chat real quick here. All right, we're good. All right, so let's start with Motobomb. You want to start? What kind of camper are you?
Electricity.
Electricity. That's very important.
Yep.
A glam camper. A glam camper is still a camper.
You bring the kids, you know, and you got to have all the good stuff just in case, you know, and put up lights. You got to have little lights going around your campsite and, you know, whatever you might want to plug into.
Glam camping is still camping.
Glamping.
Yeah.
Glamping is the thing.
I'm
Yeah.
right there with you, man.
Speak of the devil, Jay just stepped into the chat. The guy that donated these beautiful, I'll show him again,
Awesome. Hey, Jay.
these beautiful coasters. He lives in Louisiana. We went to school together. Have known each other now, is this embarrassing? 55? 35 years? Oh no, 40 years. Good God, am I that old? Holy crap. I guess I am that old. Anyway, everybody welcome Jay to the channel. So,
Hey, Jay.
Hey, you,
So-
Jay?
each of us will give one thing, we'll step on to somebody else. So, Jake from State Farm. It's one thing you won't go camping
Yeah.
without.
We've had this conversation before, and I always say like dude wipes and baby powder, but I'm gonna mix it up this time. Some kind of bungee cords, rock straps, something to secure everything down.
Yeah.
Because I definitely used those this weekend. We had a ton of wind come through.
Oh, yeah, you've got to. G-Ma and Bleak Rides both just stepped into the chat. Hello.
Bleak and Gma.
So, yep.
What's up, G?
But you got a comment to win. You got a comment to win.
Oh,
All right, Buck. One thing you won't go camping without. And Buck is froze up. We'll come back to Buck. All right, Sick Bastard.
Oh, mine's a no-brainer, I think.
Oh.
But I don't know if this is a family-friendly show. But other than that, you know,
Oh, your
air
medical
matches would be
supplies.
nice.
Air matches is very important.
Yep.
And
You
Buck's
know, the
back.
ground was kind of hard.
Oh, yeah. A blow-up cushion for sure.
A blow up
Yes.
what?
Haha. The cushion. The cushion.
Oh, yeah.
Air mattress.
Yeah, air mattress, something.
Gma says she won't camp without a hotel reservation.
Oh,
Oh,
no, that's
yeah.
funny.
All right. Salty Badger says first aid kit. All right. We've also talked about this, but these two things kind of go hand in hand. Headlight and some kind of foldable lantern. I hope that came out loud
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah.
So for I hope that's not too bright, but for different reasons. So this one actually, when it folds up, it's a spotlight, and when you've got it extended, it's a lantern. Well, that's not too bright for you guys. But I learned for the lantern is good for in the tent when you got to do stuff inside the tent, and then the spotlight obviously is great for trying to find a bathroom in the middle of the night, especially at Forgotten Angels when everybody has their tents. There is
Oh,
no form or reason to the tents there. There's tent strings everywhere and things stretched out between tents. You've
Yeah.
got to be able to see where you're going.
Yeah, you gotta be careful.
So, yeah, absolutely very
Close on
cool.
yourself at night, you know, that's exciting.
Oh, it's what was it the last camp out, the one before last? So I've got the big the Wolf Walker tent, and I had 2 nights in a row. Somebody was walking between the tents and tripped over my tent and pulled the stakes up. But yeah, it's normal to wake up with at least one of your tent stakes up and your tent halfway collapsed. It's just a
Yeah.
thing. Oh, I didn't know it blinked. I guess
That's
it
how you
does.
know it was a good night.
Yeah.
That's how you know it was a good night. You wake up and your tent is is cuddling you like a warm blanket, like a warm wet blanket.
Yeah.
Good times.
You know, we've had this conversation a few times. What do you take? What do you have to take with you? I think it'd be easier to say, what can you leave at home?
Yeah.
What can you leave at home? We'll
I
cover
would
that
just
one.
overpack like everything.
Definitely food, coffee, anything to cook food on. Unless you're going to be there for 5 days and you're further away than 30 minutes from civilization, you don't need food. You might need snacks or something, but it's just overkill and it takes up so much room.
It does.
I bring a lot
But
of.
you got to have. Actually, I had somebody that wanted to use my tools this weekend. He was trying to take his street glide fairing off, but he didn't have a T27 bit, and I had everything in the saddlebag.
Nice.
So I got to take the tools.
Yeah.
It's tools absolutely. And I was actually looking around for it real quick, and I totally forgot. But I have an e-tool still. It's like the one I had in the military, but this one actually folds up and it's cool. It has a couple of extra little tools shoved in it. So an e-tool, if you guys don't know, it's an entrenching tool. It's a folding shovel. You can use it as a shovel. You can fold it and use it as a hammer. It's also got a pick head on it, so you can use it to dig ground up, pull the roots, whatever you need to do, and flatten the ground. And it's also good for digging fire holes. If you don't know, most places you go to, especially government land and parking, you have to have a fire ring or you have to have a fire hole. That way, if you build a fire, it doesn't get out of the hole and doesn't get out and start a forest fire. So you got to be able to build a safe something to encapsulate the fire. So e-tools, especially if you're doing a motor trip and you plan on stopping at state parks along the way, absolutely fantastic. What else?
So much safety stuff. Safety third, right?
Safety third.
No first aid. None of that other stuff you were talking about.
Well, not at our campouts. Buck's kind of in and out. Buck, you stable enough to give us your answer?
I'm good. What camping I've done, I've had to pretty much what I need has been in excess. So the one time I did ride down and camp out, I had 2 backpacks, small essentials, first aid kit, small tool bag, stuff such as that. I mean, stuff that you gotta have, I've had with me.
Yeah.
Pretty much everything you guys have mentioned, and just a couple of little backpacks, because my bike, I ain't put bags on it or nothing yet. So I kind of rough it when I do camp.
Well, don't get me wrong. If I've got extra room, I'll carry extra stuff, but I'll make sure the stuff I actually need is on the bike first. And then if there's extra room for things like, I don't know, extra hand wash, extra Germ-X, extra wipes, because sometimes I'll take, obviously the dude wipes, but then sometimes I'll take alcohol pad wipes too, the ones that actually they look just like diaper wipes, but they're alcohol based. Those are good for cleaning up, and they don't leave you sticky like diaper wipes and some other stuff will. But Quick Shoe says 4 a.m. at the camp out. Obviously, Forgotten Angels. Someone outside my tent yells, "Is anyone awake? I need help. I can't see." Got up and helped him to his camp. Again, light at these campouts is so important. Which brings me to my next thing. So I actually have a solar battery box that also has, which most of them do, has a light on it. So, if I can even see that one.
So you're talking mostly motorcycle, moto camping.
Oh yeah, moto camping.
Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
that makes a little difference.
it does.
When we talk about stuff, yeah.
Well,
Oh yeah, if you're
I've never moto camped ever.
Oh
Ever?
okay.
Yeah.
it's
The only time I
different.
do was at the campouts. To be honest.
Yeah.
It's different. I mean, again, you're. I've gone camping, and then I've gone moto camping.
Yeah.
And the moto camping. So there's like Forgotten Angels. That's more glamping. You're never more than like
Yeah.
a 5-minute walk, a 3-minute walk, 2-minute walk sometimes from food. And
Yeah,
anything you need is a 5-minute
Or
motorcycle
beer.
ride to beer,
Water.
food, extra
Yeah.
clothes,
Entertainment.
whatever. Now flip that on the other end, and when we went to Land Between the Lakes in Tennessee, the closest store was probably 30 minutes away by bike, and you weren't going to walk there. So the things you needed, that if you wanted to eat at the campsite,
Yeah.
you know, you had to bring extra stuff. So we had some flat skillets. We had brought some food and some stuff to cook. But for big meals, you know, we would go take that 30-minute trip into town. But
Yeah, I
So
guess
the sites
your
with
your
no, like
your
amenity or whatever you call it, like a bathroom and a shower and all that.
yeah,
Yeah.
There is or there isn't.
there was.
There is, okay.
But at this particular one, they had 4 stalls for probably, there was maybe 300 people on our side of the camp.
Yeah.
And everybody's trying to camp at the same time. They did have lots of hot water, and I could tell there was lots of hot water because even walking into the bathroom, you get a 3rd-degree burn. So it was actually, I don't think they had any cold water, actually. It was so hot in there. So I actually forgo the shower the whole time I was there, and I'm like, I'll just screw it. Drive fast on the bike, open your shirt, you'll draw off as much as you need to and get the stink off. But
Yeah, I guess for the overarching question of the night, what do you take with you? I guess you really got to know your destination. Like if it's Forgotten Angels, you've got shower facilities, you've got bathrooms, you got the Yingling room that's now air conditioned with refrigerators and everything that you're going to need there. So you can forego a lot of stuff that you would normally take. But yeah, like Land Between the Lakes, like you're saying, you're in the middle of nowhere, so you're going to need your water. You're going to need your dude wipes. You're going to need your cooking gear. You're going to need some food. You're going to need all of that, unless you just want to go ride an hour back and forth to where you need to pick up something and then come back.
yeah, even at the KOA that we went to in Eureka Springs, they had a camp store, which had a lot of stuff in it, but so you could eat. So they had water, they had sodas, they had hot dogs, they had bread and stuff. But anything other than that, it was still, Eureka Springs was still like a 30-minute ride somewhere. So the basic amenities were there. You weren't going to starve to death, but if you wanted something nice, take a ride.
Yeah.
I
Like
still
the
do.
rally I just went to this past weekend, same thing as Forgotten Angels. You've got shower facilities on site. You've got working bathrooms if you want to walk, as far as they are. But there's a donation bar, got beer, got sodas, got water on site. So you could leave a bunch of crap at home and not have to load your bike down and take everything with you.
Yeah.
So you just got to know your destination, where you're going to determine what you need to take.
He's familiar with the grounds.
Buck says he has got 5G, but his signal keeps going out, so he is going to forego for the rest of the night. I'm trying to get GMI in. GMI. If you can get in. Evil Rick says, what I leave at home is problems. What I take, a cooler full of beer. Sometimes that's all you need. Like I said, the hot dogs are there. I don't, for some reason, the KOA we were at Eureka Springs, I don't know if somebody had already got all the beer, but there was no beer. So maybe that is one of the things that if you really want to bring alcohol, maybe that's something you need to bring with you. Julie Smith stepped in.
A lot of medical supplies.
So medical supply is very important, especially if you're going to go to Forgotten Angels. We actually have a unit, and I know both you guys know about it, the Boo Boo unit, where we got stuff donated, and I brought stuff because there were people that were falling off their bikes and sitting on mufflers for some reason, and there were drunk people that didn't realize they were hurt, and a couple of burns, a couple of cuts, a lot of scrapes. People that were fine when they fell the first time and laughed it off, and then when they sobered up, they realized it hurt. So me and Parker were kind of the unofficial medics of the campground. When Matt's there, he kind of helps out. He has a bigger bag than me and had the truck, so he actually had all the stuff, and then I would use it. I actually had to use it on Matt, 9 Meals on 2 Wheels once. He used his own kit on him because he had a little crash, but definitely important to at least bring something to. You might not need all the super amenities of a medical bag, but at least a tourniquet, some wipes, some bandages, something to hold the blood in. And then you can take your time getting somewhere to get a nice bandage and some try a triple antibiotic or something.
Yep.
I got to bring a bunch of backup stuff and extra stuff for my diabetes and stuff in case something fails.
You
Because I
gotta
have an
have a cooler all the
insulin
time.
pump and I got sensors and transmitters and everything's got to talk to each other. And then I need backup stuff and I bring backup stuff in case anything fails. And I bring a manual tester. I bring along a low glucose shot in case I go low. That thing I showed you, where you rip it open, you just give the injection.
Yeah. Here's something important while you're talking about that. If you have a medical problem, make sure you tell somebody before they
Yeah.
need to know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like if you have any kind of allergies and you have to carry an EpiPen, make sure somebody knows. Oh, by the way, I'm severely allergic to bugs, peanuts, whatever, and here's my EpiPen.
Here's how you use it too. People freak out when they know how to use one.
Yeah. So, yeah, me and Gma was at the last camp out too when we had to treat Matt.
Yeah.
Make sure you also know at the campground who's your medic, who's your guy, who do I need to go to? Some lady that didn't even know who I was running around and telling everybody, "Hey, I'm looking for Rainy Rider. Has anybody seen Rainy Rider? Somebody wants him." And somebody finally brought her over to me, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm Rainy. Oh, somebody wants to talk to you." And I was like, "Oh, really? What do they want?" They're like, "I don't know. They didn't look very good." And I'm like, "Oh, crap." So she started leading me over towards Matt's tent, and when I got over there, I saw it was Matt's tent. I'm like, "Oh shit!" And then Matt's over there, was like sweating buckets, sitting in a chair, and so I ran over, but there he was. But yeah, it was. It's very important to know where to get help if you need it, and
No doubt.
telling people if you're going to need help.
Well.
I'm probably the guy that's going to fall down. Things like if you've ever had a heat stroke, that's very important. Like at Little Sturgis.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I'm subject to heat stroke. It's happened to me once. Somebody please keep an eye on me.
Yeah.
And you want to pick the person that's not drinking that much to keep an eye on you. You want somebody that'll be
Not
able to-
it.
Yeah.
Not it.
Be prepared for failure over here.
Yeah. I'm that guy.
Like even though I went to that VAM last year, you talk about the importance of medical, just a care kit. My daughter had a spill, on my R1 in a big old pothole with gravel in it. Hit the brake a little bit hard. So boom, down and no gloves and
Yeah.
they go, and hurt her shoulder and all that. But luckily we had people surrounded around us that had stuff to help
That
her
had
out
stuff,
and clean
that's
her
good.
up. But that's something I really.
Yeah. That's one thing I need to get. I need to get a first aid kit for the bike
Mm-hmm.
for when I travel.
I have a really small one that I got off of Amazon. It was
Yeah.
$30 and has everything in it. It has the tourniquet, it has smelling salts, it has bandages, it has alcohol wipes.
Yeah.
But it'll take care of everything you need. Again, for a first aid kit, you don't need a paramedic's bag. You need something to stop the blood,
Yeah.
Right.
hold the bleeding back, and to maybe wash it off and keep it clean.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, when I retired, I tactically acquired some, a tourniquet, some
Yeah.
quick clot, that kind of stuff. So that stays in. I've got one saddlebag dedicated to medical stuff, my rain gear, and anything that's going to be an emergency. Shit hit the fan.
Mm.
We need this right here. I know exactly where it is on one side. The other saddlebag, that's where I try and cram everything else if I can't strap it on the sissy bar or on the luggage rack.
That makes
Yeah.
sense.
That's a great idea. What Kefab said too about doing refresher courses and stuff.
yeah.
How to care for people and take
Mm.
care, especially go to like a camp out.
Salty Badger says, "Don't use the tourniquet above the shoulders. It's counterproductive." I disagree. It's still effective. However,
Right
recovery,
here for
minimal.
head
I was
wounds.
thinking,
It's very
For
effective.
head,
Just,
for head bleeding, right around the neck.
it actually would be, especially with as big as Forgotten Angels has gotten, at least 5 people that say, yes, at least 2 of us are going to be on site at all times. We'll be in this area. We'll still be having fun and hanging out, but we're the guys.
Yeah.
And for Forgotten Angels is to put it out, this is the person that you need to go find. Find these people if something happens. In the past, we've had the problem of the first aid kits not being where they were supposed to be, or they getting just kind of kicked under a table somewhere or moved somewhere else because they're in the way of the food or the beer or whatever. And then when we had to find it, it took 5-10 minutes to go find it. So we definitely things need to be done just a little more planning wise, but it would not hurt to get a bunch of people together and say, who wants to learn something about first aid? Probably on a Friday before the partying gets too hard. Here's what you do. Here's what we need to know. And if I need you, even if you're not a blood type, and I like to tell this story because when I was at the brewery, I had a guy who said he's good with blood, would help me out. Well, then a guy ended up running a forklift into a column and cut his leg off. And I'm like, can you handle this? The guy's like, yeah, sure, no problem. And I get over there, and I'm trying to cut his pants up. I'm trying to get his sock off, and I turn around, and I'm like, hand me some pads. Hand me some pads. I turn around, the guy's backed off like 5 feet and turning the other direction. He just couldn't handle it. I'm like, well, just grab his head and talk to him. Grab his head and talk to him. And he didn't know what to do, didn't know what to say, didn't know how to distract him. Jake, I'm sure you know, and probably Sick, you've seen this before. When you tell somebody to work the head, you don't need to look at the blood. You don't need to do anything but stare at the guy and just talk to him.
Yeah,
And he just couldn't get his head wrapped around. He'd already seen the limb and this little crushed thing that was inside his sock, and he just couldn't get past it. So it definitely knows. It definitely pays to know who you can depend on when the time comes.
I did EMS for like 8 years.
Yeah.
When I was really young, though. I started when I was 16 in the youth corps, and then I recerted and I went into a paid corps and a volunteer corps. I was involved in my town, and I worked like Newark, East Orange, West Orange areas.
And that's always stuff you can bring with you. It never goes away. 20 years from now, you'll be like, I kind of remember what to do. And as you're doing it, it comes right back. So,
yeah, it's like riding a bicycle. I mean, but now they teach you all kinds of stuff. Like, they're practically paramedics. They teach you how to defibrillate and everything.
Yeah, and I tell you what, AED is probably, it's a curse if you don't know how to use it, but it's a blessing for someone who has to work by themselves.
Yeah.
Absolutely. One more time, so keep you guys that are just getting in. This is the giveaway for tonight. Giving away these are coasters.
Yeah.
Nice.
Made by Jay. All you have to do to win is comment in the sidebar. So make sure you guys are commenting. Julie, thanks for coming in. Rollin' T-Bone just jumped in. I'll tell him again. Rollin' T-Bone. Here's the prize for tonight. T-Bone already commented. Cool. But everybody, if you're not commenting, all you need to comment is have an account with YouTube. And when it says, I believe, to actually comment in the sidebar, you have to have a channel of your own. You don't even have to use it. You just have to be registered as an official YouTuber.
Yeah.
So, anyway, let's go. Who haven't we talked to? Who do we leave off with? Jake. Give me one more thing that you'd need to bring with you.
Oh God! For the campouts I go to, my cooler. I gotta have my beer someplace.
Back to that beer.
Someplace to put my moonshine.
It bums me that you're not gonna be able to be there with me at Little Sturgis, but it'll all be fun. Somebody was gonna go to Little Sturgis with me this year, and I can't remember who it was, but I'll do my best without you. Here's something that I definitely bring every time I camp, especially to Forgotten Angels. This is tent lights, and this helps.
They fell down.
This helps you find your tent in the middle of the night.
They fell down.
Biker Girl just dipped in. Welcome to the channel. So yeah, I've got the leprechaun ones for the March camp out, and then Halloween I've got really colorful bead lights. But yeah, that definitely, especially if there's 100 tents out there and they're under trees in the middle of nowhere like it is in Forgotten Angels, it helps you find your tent.
Absolutely.
So, just a Biker Girl. welcome back.
Hey guys.
Hey,
So,
Happy Friday.
Happy
yay!
Friday. It's a religious holiday for most of us.
It is a actual Good Friday.
It is Good Friday.
That's right.
Oh, it is.
So lights on the tent, huh?
Lights on the tent, that helps. What have I just done? Yep, lights on the tent, that helps you find your tent in the middle of the night. So we're talking about things that you need on a camp out that you just can't do without.
Gotcha. Crazy Biker Bitch introduced me to lights on the tent, and then also we collect those blinky, glowing like necklace lights that you accumulate during the rallies and stuff, and we hang those on our tent.
Mm-hmm.
So I put the sidewalk lights, the little bitty lamps, the little garden lamps. I'll put those on my tent stakes again because people keep tripping over them.
Oh yeah.
And then of course the string lights around the tent itself. I am amazingly everything I have mentioned so far has something to do with light. So
Mhm.
lights are very important to me.
Same.
Apparently, I don't like falling down. I think as I've gotten older, I think of myself less as a ninja and more of a guardian of light. I don't know.
Yeah. The voice of experience.
The, boy,
It's just what becomes more important the older you get.
the self-correcting
Yeah.
errors are in abundance once you get old.
Not falling.
Right, and as Jake was saying, you need a hat.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't quite fit good when you've got your ear muffs on, but you definitely need something to cover your head, especially in Little Sturgis or Florida or anywhere where there's sun. You definitely need it. All right, Biker
I'll
Girl,
be-
you got to give us one.
Definitely, I go nowhere without my cot. I have a cot, so then I'm not
Cot.
sleeping flat on. I have, yeah.
Caught with a T.
Use my Minnesota accent here. I cot, so I'm not sleeping flat on the ground, and I can kind of roll out and onto one knee and then get up.
I thought we were going back to the don't look in my saddlebags.
Don't look at my
conversation.
saddlebags, man.
All right.
You know what else? Okay, so this is my must-have, and I pass it on to everybody. I bring Midol when I go camping, and I swear by it, whether you're a man or a woman. It's an anti-inflammatory, it's a muscle relaxer, it's a pain reliever, and it has a kick of caffeine. So you will take it with your coffee, get up, and feel like you can conquer the day after laying on the ground all night.
Listen, my doll nearly got me kicked out of school.
Yeah, but
A girl gave it to me, and the teacher thought I was stoned because I had
Oh,
a
no.
headache. I had a headache, and she's like, "This works. This is great. It's the best stuff on the earth. Here, take 5. They're great." And I took 2, and yeah, I was so relaxed within a few minutes. The teacher was like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "I took something, and I feel." And she's like, "Are you stoned? Did you take drugs? You need to go to the office." And the girl's like, "No, I gave you one of my Midols." And she's, "Why did you give him Midol? Men can't stand that." And I'm like, I feel
whatever.
great though. I feel great. But oh yeah,
I gave him Midol because he was getting bitchy.
because he's a little bitch. Yes.
everybody, everybody wants to joke,
It
but I
works.
ran a feed and pack store, and my delivery guys swore by
Oh, it
it. They
works.
all had a hard time taking it the first time, but then, the experienced ones are like, oh no, man, that's the good stuff. My arm can move now, and yeah. So I'd pass it on to all the groups who were going out, and
Oh, it
I'd
definitely
have
works.
guys, big MC guys coming back and being like, man, I was the only one who was ready to ride the next morning. You were right.
It
All right,
definitely
it's going on
works.
the list. I'll try it. I'll try anything once at least.
Try it once. Just don't take it at night. It's got caffeine.
Caffeine's great with aspirin. By the way, BT Dub. It's funny that doctors used to say, take 2 aspirin and a glass of water and call me in the morning. And most of the time it was the water that helped them out, not the aspirin.
Yeah.
Because people just stay so dehydrated all the time. The aspirin actually thins your blood enough to let your body get rehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
Funny little cool. Let me check out the chat here. 2-4, welcome in. Again, comment in the chat. Comment on the sidebar. We're giving away these coasters tonight. My my lovely Pillion is putting them into the spinner. And at the end of the chat, all you gotta do is chat. If you step out, we'll still get a hold of you and you'll get them. But just comment in the chat and you'll be entered, and she'll put them on the spinner. And before the end of the stream, we'll announce the winner. So, and everybody's allowed. So if you've commented, anybody on the panel, if you comment in there, you're getting something.
It's a wrap. Did it. So what part of Minnesota are you from?
Actually, so as a kid, I grew up in the Twin Cities, Plymouth, and then my parents moved to northern Wisconsin, near Superior, and I actually worked for most of my years along the Iron Range, going from Duluth all the way north across to Fargo.
Wow. Well, Fargo, yeah, I was like about 30 miles from there. Fargo off of 94 is a little town called Barnesville, and then there's Fergus Falls, Alexandria, and down to the cities there. So, yeah, that's where I grew up. You betcha, eh?
Oh yeah. So Fergus Falls was one of my stops. Yeah.
Well, nice to meet you.
You too. My mama and my oldest daughter still live up in northern Minnesota, so I do go up there.
Yeah.
I missed Jerry stepping into the chat. So Jerry, welcome. The captain himself.
The captain.
Captain Jerry. Different than Journey of Jerry.
That's Journey of Jerry.
That's him.
Same guy.
That's him.
Same. Okay. Yeah, he's been in there a while.
The Jerry. Absolutely. There's only one Jerry.
Yeah.
There was another Jerry, we made him change his name. Now he's Bob.
Can't use it. Jerry's already got it.
There can be only one Jerry.
Yeah.
All right, just to make it, girl, since you relate to the party, give us one more.
Okay, so I did the cot and the Midol. I go nowhere without my little Coleman burner, and it screws onto the propane tank. It's a squat, short, little wide propane tank, so I don't feel like it'll tumble over. The little burners are expandable, so they open up, and I can put a 6-inch, 8-inch skillet on it. It also works great when the power goes out here for days, because PG&E is something else. And that way I can still make my coffee.
I do have one, and again, I carried it for the first few times I went, and I've carried it for coffee, and I was like, yeah, I'll make my own coffee, and I'll bring some noodles, and I'll make my own ramen noodles. And after the first couple times, I was like, why am I doing this? I'm literally, especially for God Angels, there's like, 2 or 3 2-gallon coffee kegs, and they don't make bad coffee there.
No,
That's cool.
The funny thing is, what is it? TJ. TJ works at Breadco, and at night, 2 o'clock when he comes in, he'll bring just pans and pans of pastries. So if you're there, he sells the pastries, and for like a couple of bucks a piece, like cheaper than you get them at at Panera. But there's always stuff to eat. There's always stuff to drink. Always stuff. There's always stuff there. So I was like, why am I bringing this? Now, I did bring it to Land Between the Lakes. So it kind of worked out there. Tried to pan fry some biscuits. That didn't work well on a gas camp skillet. I'll perfect it for later. But yeah, just one of those things. Sorry.
Now, I did this past weekend. I took a little butane propane burner, and I did make myself some food while I was at the rally, just to save a couple of dollars, because they had 2 or 3 food vendors on site, but instead of shelling out money on site, I decided I was going to try and save a couple of bucks, and I did. I cooked 2 or 3 times, just in the tent, in front of the tent. But it's not something that I had to take on this trip, because like I said, there's food on site, there's beer and water and sodas on site, so you just got to know where you're going and what your destination is.
I think it's also good for those in between when you leave and you get to your destination. If anything happens and you need an extra day, those burgers are great for instant meals, and it's nothing I would ever order out, but bringing an instant oatmeal, you pour a little water in it, and at least you got something in your gullet, and you're not spending $10, buying a chicken nugget.
Exactly.
It was
So
so
pretty much you just regular oatmeal that's the ground up, not like the what you call the old fashioned, but the ones that's more ground up. Just soak it alone in water, and you don't even have to cook it.
so I'll bring the
Yeah, I've heard that.
I'll bring the apple cinnamon with me in the packets and just eat them right out of the packet and drink them with water. And they're delicious. The apple cinnamon's great. The walnut one's not so much because it's anyway. But apple cinnamon, perfect for eating by itself, and the brown sugar cinnamon.
The less weight I gotta carry, the better.
Mm.
'Cause I already
Yeah.
gotta carry a bunch of stuff. That's not even camping related.
Mm-hmm.
But when me and Jerry went to Little Sturgis, they had food trucks, and the food trucks had lots of food, but it was actually cheaper to eat at Sturgis Cafe.
Mhm.
Oh wow.
So and they had a meal just for the bikers, so it was like a reduced price quick menu. So instead of having
Well,
like
the cafe was great.
yeah, but instead of having like baked chicken and all the other stuff and chicken fried steak they usually did, they had burgers and hot dogs and quick meals and like ready to go stuff. But it was absolutely their fries were fantastic, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, hot dogs are easy. Burgers are easy.
But you get the convenience of it actually coming from a restaurant, so everything's fresh. The street burgers sometimes you're gonna pay. I think it was $8.99 for the burgers and fries and a drink in the cafe. Out on the strip, the burgers there were like $12, and that was just the burger, and then the fries were like $5. So
Yeah.
and it's I get it. A lot of people I guess didn't want to leave the actual campsite. They wanted to stay like close to the campsite, but it was only another quarter of a mile to walk to the cafe, and it wasn't that far.
If that.
If that. So it was. I mean, I guess you pay for convenience, and a bunch of those people were stumbling around. Like the mayor said, none of the places around here are going to sell beer. However, if you bring your own, you gotta be responsible. So it was such a good time though.
Yeah, and if they have something that's close by that you can get to that's affordable like that, that's a great option. It really is. And sometimes you can't be at places that there is just nothing around you, and you have to actually go kind of a distance to find something to eat. And even then, you're still eating out, so it's going to be more expensive.
They were selling margaritas, but
That's a win.
it was so expensive. Now here's something cool. So the Mexican restaurant, not this year, but year before last, 23, Mexican restaurant brought a little booth down and was making margaritas. And again, this is like the middle of August, actually the third weekend of August. And they said they sold more margaritas that weekend than they had in the last month in the restaurant.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
It was hot.
They did this right, bro.
Jake can attest, it was hot.
It's hot.
It was hot, huh?
It's hot.
It was definitely a dress down. You're in Mississippi in the middle of the state with some lakes and rivers around you and with a lot of greenery. And there's a lot of trees to block wind and stuff, so there was not a grand wind blowing.
No.
So it's pretty stuffy. However, well worth it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well worth it.
Well, it's a
the
great
sticker.
time. You
Like the sticker.
don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And you hit that bell.
Hit that bell.
All right, Motobomb, give us one more thing. I know you don't do motorcycle camping, but what do you need to go camping?
Oh, a Rainy Rider sticker. I
You
don't
need a
have
Rainy
one.
Rider sticker.
We got to do a swap. Yeah, I don't know, man. It was already said. Definitely the Coleman stove. I got like the older one that you got to use Coleman fuel. I don't even know if you can buy that stuff anymore.
Oh yeah,
You can.
You
definitely.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
can buy them at Academy,
Walmart.
Walmart. Academy has big
Definitely buy it at
cans.
Tractor Supply Company.
Buy it at
That's-
Tractor Supply.
Now that we have that, I know where to find. Up Minnesota, we had Fleet Farms, huh? Yeah.
Fleet Farm.
Clayton Farm.
But Geez, I always took kids, like that's the camping. When you said moto camping and all that, and I haven't camped for so long, it's just crazy. We brought the bikes, and like I said, we made the lights and made like a little city if we could, and had to have the little insect carriers that they would go out and explore to get like little toads and collect everything.
I had
fun stuff.
Yeah, I had an
The
insect.
lightning
Stay
bug.
entertained.
I had an
Say
insect vacuum when I was. What did you do, Biker Girl?
Oh, I'm sorry. My wrist hurts. It's all
I
good.
was like, your
I
hands
just hold
turning
on to it.
purple. What did you do? Okay, but
No
anyway,
worries.
so
Yeah.
I do. So I still carry a small thing with little small, like again, like the little e-tool, quick fire starter stuff for wood fires, just in case I need to build a fire. So I've got these little like the twisted pine knots as starters, and I had some cotton balls that I soak in Vaseline,
Hmm.
and
Wow,
those are
what's
good for
that do?
starting fires.
Oh, really?
Very good.
How about a
Cotton
hatchet?
balls,
Like
that's
I
good.
know
Have
I
a
always
hatchet.
brought a hatchet, but I wasn't like said my motorcycle. It was a regular thing. You always bring it.
Always have a hatchet. Always have a very very well endowed knife, for multiple reasons.
Yeah.
That stays in the saddlebags.
Yeah.
Well, I have one that
Stays on my belt.
I have one that stays on my belt because when you're getting gas, when people start staring at you, they're looking for a soft target. If they see some guy crawl off a motorcycle that has a
Get that knife.
knife with a bone handle in a hand tooled leather sheath, they stay away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just say it.
Got to make one kind of gaudy and intimidating. Like, oh, I think that guy might use that.
Well, if you have a fanny pack that you carry in the front, they don't know what's in your fanny pack either, so they stay. They also
True.
stay.
Just packing.
So I'm packing reading glasses, some eye drops, my wallet, and some other little amenities, but they don't know that. But I do have a knife, and I'm an edge weapon instructor. I know how to use it. So I mean,
Mm-hmm.
please help me with my skills. I don't want them to get rusty. Please.
How about
Um,
Oriental throwing stars?
Oh,
I told
From a
Steve.
distance.
Yeah, Steve and his general manager. I told him when I come down, we're going to go through knife defense and edge weapon defense and stuff because he has a lot of women that work for him. And they're in a warehouse down in Las Vegas. They said it's not a totally sketchy street, but I mean it's Las Vegas. So I told him next time I came down, I was going to run him through some drills, and I thought that would be fun. And it's fun to teach. Where were we? Anyway, sick bastard. Throw one in there.
Yeah.
What else could you bring?
I always bring these 2 battery packs just to charge the phone and lights or whatever, and something. Gotta have some little speaker or something. Always. Tiny bit of convenience or something.
Little speakers are great. I just noticed Spiff McFluff stepped in. He had changed to Penitent Orange for a while, and now he's back to Spiff McFluff. So, welcome in, my buddy Spiff. Yep, it's been a long time. Glad you're in here.
Sick bastard. I always brought I used to bring a little cordless Bluetooth speaker wherever I went, and after half a dozen campouts, I never used it. I never pulled it out. I never started it up because there's usually a band going or an MC going, or somebody's got a much bigger speaker, some amps or something.
Yeah.
I don't even bring a speaker with me anymore because most of the campouts and rallies that I'll go to,
Yeah.
it's just taking up space. I mean, not a lot of space. It's only about
Yeah. If I don't have nothing, I'll play. I usually like to play something when I go to bed.
Yeah.
Just
Listen to
some
your
background
phone.
noise or something,
Yeah.
So I'll leave the phone on or something and play some YouTube music or something,
Yeah.
a mix
Yeah.
or something.
I did that this weekend. I just played it on my phone. Yeah, it sounded a little tinny, but after 2 or 3 beers, sure,
it
2 or
sounds
3.
better.
After only 2 or 3, yeah.
A
And,
fan will start to sound better.
we were up so late. I probably only listened for 5 minutes, if that, before I drifted off.
Yeah. Mine
Yeah, I'll say on what Successor said is that I have a baggie full of all of my electronic charging devices
Hmm.
so that I can charge it. And usually while I'm riding, so I put it on my bike, plug it in, charge it up while I'm out. So I have to plan, is it going to be cold? Do I need my, heated vest battery? My phone, it's a wireless charger on my bike. So if my phone's on my bike, it's getting charged. So anything else that I need, I have all of the adapters that I need to plug into my USB, charge them up. I love that. Absolutely. And then, yeah, rarely do I need, I think, a speaker, but at nighttime, I definitely need to plug into these so that I can.
Oh yeah, I definitely need music at
I'm a
night to
great
help me.
sleeper. It's not me. It's crazy biker bitch next door. Like, she keeps me up all night long. So this keeps me from killing her. I woke up day 2 at Sturgis. I was ready to go home. I was going to pack up and leave. I was like, you and I need to talk.
I never knew
She's hard.
so many people in the world snored so much before I went to Forgotten Angels.
Oh yeah.
There are so
when you
many.
walk around.
Oh God. There was one, and I won't give his name away, but we was at Forgotten Angels. It was probably 2.5 years ago. He snored so loud, he woke up me and Dana both, and we were just laughing because it was so loud. And the next morning, he's like, "Oh, I hope I didn't wake you guys up. I kind of snore sometimes." Dana's like, "No, not at all. No, it was fine." But I always sleep good at Forgotten Angels because by the time I finally get to
snoring
bed,
sections at these places. If you're a snorer, you camp over here.
Forgotten Angels is the entire place. It's the whole
Golly.
place.
Yeah,
Because
it's a
everybody's
road
either
war.
snoring.
they're either
Yeah,
super
all you
tired
do
or
is
they're
walk
super
around.
drunk.
It's like a sea of snoring men.
Well, because they're so drunk or so tired, it's like everybody just snoring. But the funny thing is, everybody's so
Yeah.
drunk and tired, nobody wakes each other up. You wake up to go to the bathroom, you hear it's like, oh my god, people are so. I'll never be able to fall asleep again. As soon as you stop moving, you're asleep. You're asleep again.
Yeah.
It was too much fun. Let's see, where we leave off? This again. So Forgotten Angels, you go to bed at night and it's kind of warm. You wake up in the morning and it's kind of cold. So I always bring one of these, courtesy of Indy Ridge, and it's again we're talking about buffs. The buff always used as a head wrap. It also works as a very cool beanie bandana.
Yeah.
It also works to put on your wrist and keep the sun
Liner every
from
day.
that little tender spot between your gloves and your shirt. It also looks cool, and if you're a sloppy eater, it's
Oh,
absolutely handy. So
I wear mine as a gaiter, keep my face covered up from the sun. Yep.
I'll put it right up. I try to wear it up on my nose. Oh yeah, this is where I always get burnt, right there.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. So I use like FCF 50 on my nose, but you can feel it when it starts wearing off. But,
Is it just me? But as we get a little older, it's like it burns faster. It turns
Skin
red
getting
really
thinner?
fast.
I saw
more tissue.
This this I just got today walking out to the mailbox. No.
Oh no.
I saw a meme.
Oh, you
the other
had sun
day.
today. Gotcha.
Yeah, you get it extra complexion wise, huh?
Oh yeah.
Like you would burn quick.
I do. It's
Yeah, that tender stuff is the worst.
Yeah, I should have warned you. Put on your sunglasses
You
first.
get all that protective stuff on, and you leave like one little strip undone and beat red.
Yep.
Oh yeah, when I got back from this rally, I don't know if it'll show up, but the admission
The glove
armband I had
line.
on, it was red here, red there, and a little white strip where the admission armband was on my wrist all weekend.
Music Man, welcome
There
in.
was
Sorry,
one
I
year
got to you
my
late.
hands were white and my arms were just tan all the way to exactly here, and then my hands were completely white, both of them exactly.
Jason
Or if
Ghost
you
just
ride
got
so
in.
much, you get a little
Just-
tan dot on your hand where your
Oh,
gloves
yeah.
closed, and there's a little open spot.
Well, the worst I ever got burnt. So again, it was in August. Was going down to Louisiana, and the stretch between Greenville, Mississippi, and Alexander, Louisiana, is almost just straight road, and there's nothing there. And it was 114 degrees, and by the time I got halfway to Alexandria, I could feel my wrist feel like something was biting me.
Mhm.
And I looked down, and I'd already been on the road for like 4 hours, and I had blisters all the way around my wrists.
Wow.
Oh no.
And just
Yeah.
from the sun being stupid hot. Well, that's when I started wearing
Yeah.
these on my wrists to try to keep, that little spot between your flannel or your shirt and your gloves. But then I still had that little dot right there, like he's talking about. And I had it was like a hole burnt. It burnt so bad it rose up. It was like I thought I was gonna get like a freaking mole or something. I was like, what the hell? But it was so burnt that it scarred, and
Oh no.
it took probably a year and a half for it to go away. But boy, you talk about if the sun wants you, it'll get you. But I would
At
rather
the
be
March
burnt on the
camp
wrist
out.
than on the back of my neck.
At the March camp out, I got a blister on the side of my nose, and I think it was from when I rode a lot the one day when we did the poker run, and I think it was the reflection off of my sunglasses onto my face.
Mhm.
It literally burnt a small area on my nose.
Like a
And then after
magnifying
the
glass.
run, I took my glasses off, and I'm like, "What the hell?" And all
What's
this
burning?
water's running down my face.
I smell chicken
Oh,
going
no.
down the road.
I was like,
Oh,
"What
that's
is
me.
up with that?"
Yeah, I don't wear mirrored shades anymore. It's
Damn.
mirrored shades and motorcycles. I know they look cool. Absolutely,
Because why? What
Horrendous.
will they do? They'll
it reflects the light back onto your
actually
nose.
Yeah.
It's like you're wearing a mirror next to your nose. And like Jake was saying, since they're concave, they act like a magnifying glass, and they'll focus
Yeah.
a spot right on the other side of
Oh
your nose.
no.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
So yep, no more. Chasing Ghosts, welcome in. So who are we on now? Let's so sick bastard. Everybody's kind of talked themselves out. Anybody got any? We can change topics now because we beat that one to death. So Jake,
Yes, sir.
she's a gulper. Better swallow than spit. So Jake,
It's a
what?
different label. I haven't heard that label before, but
Now I don't bring air mattresses. Diana uses the air mattress, but I've kind of found out if I sleep on an air mattress, I sleep weird and my arms fold weird. I would rather just sleep on the ground as long as there's not sticks and stuff under me. I would just rather be flat on the ground.
I did that the first
Memory
year I
foam.
went to the Forgotten Angels camp out, and I was so uncomfortable. I froze my ass off. I didn't
Oh,
bring
no.
enough heavy clothes. I didn't bring long johns. I didn't bring a lot of stuff. I found out the hard way.
It's,
I won
it was
by-
one of the nights. I want to say it was not last March before last. So March 24. It was so cold when I woke up in the morning. It was ridiculous. I walked outside to go to the bathroom and I was shivering. Like, what the hell? I'd gotten down to like 50 degrees. But the night before it was 95. So overnight,
Yeah.
the temperature just dropped. And
Yeah.
then when we left,
Welcome to Florida.
well, that's the same weekend when I tried to go back. Oh no, it would have been the October before that. But when I decided to go back, it started getting cold, and I was like, all right, well I'll just drive through Atlanta because it'll be quicker. And when I got into Atlanta, there was ice all over the road, and I had to stop off in Douglas. I think it's called Douglasville, right outside of Atlanta. And when I'm trying to get into the hotel, there's ice everywhere on the ground, and I'm sliding around like, what the hell? It was 95 degrees in Florida.
Yeah.
But it just dropped. It was stupid. That's the same one that Beth said she rode in the snowstorm for the last 30 minutes on the way home. Beth and AZDZ. Annette. But
Just past one?
that would have been the one almost 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
So October 23.
3.
Yeah.
No, it was ridiculously cold. That's when I decided I'm never going through Atlanta again, even as a shortcut. I thought, I'm going through Atlanta at 1 o'clock in the morning. It should be safe. That's also the one where the car near. So I got into Atlanta and I heard cars revving up behind me, and they started passing. They were racing, and I was like, oh man, I'm gonna try to tape this. And as soon as I went up to turn the camera on, one of the cars that went around slid, flipped, and rolled into the embankment. And I didn't. So I, of course, went back to the handlebars and tried to go around him. But I'm like, this is just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's almost like
I mean, that's a Thursday in California.
Stop, drop, and roll. You're only supposed to do that if it's on fire.
Dude, everyone dreads Atlanta. Like nobody has anything good to say about driving anywhere near Atlanta. Even on the outskirts of Atlanta, they don't even want to go there. It needs like 3 rings to get around Atlanta.
I hate it. There's a video going around. A guy, they're on a dating show, and he found out she lived on the other side of Atlanta from him. He says, "Yeah, it's just not going to work out." And she goes, "You're going to tell me you've been single for 8 years. You're a widower. You've been single for 8 years. You've never dated, and you're going to let something as small as having to drive through Atlanta get between us?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm not driving through Atlanta."
Time out. That ain't small.
End of story. Oh no. There's been times it's taken me 3 hours to get through Atlanta. Atlanta is stupid. So I
remember, this is so many years ago, my husband was in the military. We were stationed in Augusta, Georgia at Fort Gordon. And we decided to go to Atlanta and take, I don't know, just a little weekend family vacay, tour the Coca-Cola Museum, the underground, whatever, that they had going on. Back before GPS and cell phones and shit, and you had to go off of paper maps. And we took the wrong exit, and we were in a car that did not have air conditioning, and we had the windows rolled up, sweating our asses off, because we were in the wrong side of town and did not know how to get back to where we needed to be. We made it, but I'm telling you what, I sweated my ass off. I thought we were going to die in Atlanta.
Yeah, I do not like Atlanta, period. I used to when I worked at a sign company, we had a company that put signs on top of the Coca-Cola plant there. And even going there, there was a gated entry to get into the little parking area, and there was a gated entry at the top to get out of the parking area. So if you're in such a dangerous area that even the top floor has to be gated and locked, 6 stories up, you've got problems. So, nope. No thanks.
Robbers are rappelling down from the roof.
Celt's Fire, you're supposed to step in. Celt's
Where's
Fire,
she at?
she is in the side chat. Celt Fire, if you can get in, jump in. We're waiting on you. We need more victims. I mean, we need more people to talk.
Victims.
Victims. You meant volunteers, right?
I meant volunteers. Yeah. So Celt's Fire is going to be on tomorrow night. I'm going to be interviewing her. So she says her day was crazy today. I get it. If she's too tired to get in, it's fine. But if you can get in, I'd like to. But if you need to rest because I'm going to rake you over the coals tomorrow, I totally understand. So, no harm. So, what else could we possibly think of for the camp out? For something you need for a camp out? Oh, a pimp cup. You've got to have a pimp cup because a lot of these places have water, but they don't have cups available. Yeah. So if you can bring a pimp cup, a lot like the one that Jake has. I have one that actually, my friend that's staying with me tonight got it for me. And maybe if my pillion will go get it for me, it's under the cabinet. She'll bring it to me. I'll show it to you. But I had a friend that actually had one made for me. It's very cool. She had my logo put her on it and wrapped around the cup and laminated on the cup. It was very neat, very cool. But definitely, especially if you go to a camp out that has free beer.
Yes.
The cups run out fast. And I know some people drink out of their hands, Jerry, but a cup is much
I think
better.
it's okay with me.
Your boot.
Right.
Watch
But
you
the
guys
bigger the
put your
cup,
own
the more
boots
beer
on.
you can hold.
The boot absorbs too much alcohol, pulls all the alcohol out of it. No. All right, show this one more time here. That's our giveaway for tonight. We still, I forgot to do the giveaway last time for either the handlebar throttle lock / helmet holder. And it's your choice. So helmet holder or kickstand plate from Southern Thunder Harley Davidson. So we'll do 2 drawings tonight.
Yeah. So you gotta do is comment. Just did you make a comment?
just
in
gotta
it? 'Cause
comment.
People on, just
Heck yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I'm sure if you did, I know most of us did.
I did a couple.
So here it is.
Oh, you qualify.
Oh, look at that.
What you got there?
That's
You know what?
That's
That's
the
really
cup she had.
cool.
That's my I don't know if you can see it up here. I'll tilt it back where you can see it. But that's my neon sign back there. We
Yeah.
tilt it up where you can see it.
Love it.
There it is.
Shit, yeah.
Nice.
Super fancy.
I feel so blessed.
I am hey, how are
I am
you?
super fancy. Keltfire, welcome in.
Increase the volume
Neighbor.
overhead on
Neighbor.
the
My neighbor who I
Oh,
haven't met
hold
yet.
on.
One day. Five and dime.
Oh,
Jerry, I'm going to give you a Rainy Rider hug whether you win or not. So
I think that's
Gmail, all you gotta do is just like you're commenting in the side chat. That's all you gotta say. There's no hard trivia question, nothing. You just gotta comment. Diana will put it into the spinning wheel on her electronic device, and we will pick a winner. All right, so Kel,
can y'all hear me okay?
I can hear you fine.
Yep.
All right,
How's that?
tonight's
I'm not in my studio tonight, so.
it's fine. Tonight's we're talking about things you go camping with, you can't leave without.
her studio.
A French press.
A French press. I actually have a French press,
Oh.
the Aladdin one. All
That's
right,
impressive.
That is so
I
civilized.
had one of those little, the small bottles of, I guess it's a propane. And the little camp stove attachment, it just screws on, it just pops on the top of the bottle of propane, and you turn the little thing and it pops open, and you could set it right on the French press right on top and warm up your water
That's
for your
awesome.
coffee.
Well, the Aladdin and the Coleman French
Let
press
you
is
pour me
also
a cup
work.
of coffee in my paper cup, and I'll drink it with my pinky out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No doubt.
Just
Yeah.
in case.
The Aladdin ones
that is
also work
awesome.
as a
I
camping.
cowboy my coffee, so like kudos to you.
Rain gear is essential.
Rain gear is a must.
Yep.
That kind of goes without saying. It's like, again, I guess it's something you just know you're gonna bring. You don't think about it. You don't think about it as an extra. It's like if I don't bring it,
Can opener?
I'm screwed.
Yes, can opener,
Can opener.
definitely.
Hammer and screwdriver. Real desperate. Those beans, gotta get them.
Yeah, one of
Don't
those
bring
Swiss Army
beans.
knives do
Beans are
like
not
these.
good.
That was like
So I
just
have
a
on my
statement.
keychain a P38.
Yeah.
You guys know what that
Been
is?
a long time since I've seen
Some
one
of us
those.
do.
Yep.
Army days.
Wow.
I
Yeah.
actually got
No
one.
kidding.
You got one still, Kel?
I do, yeah.
Good for you, man.
I've got one in a box somewhere.
Grab my
Makes me
purse.
want one now.
Or no, grab my camera
Just
bag.
little things.
That's awesome.
How about your 10 mil? Sick?
Yeah, I carry a 10 mil on my keychain.
Always. You brought.
All right.
You brought one to
The
Las
big
Vegas,
camera
the
bag
Dead
is
Show.
coming in
Yeah.
from the delivery service.
Never know.
Ah.
Full toolkit.
All right. So here's that's my utility keychain.
Hell yeah.
I got
Oh, nice.
There it is. Wow.
There it
that.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all know what that is?
Striker.
No.
It's a Flintstone.
That's a striker.
Oh,
It's Fire Striker.
like a little file almost, I thought. Scissors? T-saws?
is. Yep.
Yep, those are great.
Yep.
Gosh, that's like from way back in the day those were around. Those little scissor things.
Yeah.
You
Yep.
still make those, or is that just something you've had for a long time?
This is something I've had since I was a kid.
Right on.
Wow. That's awesome.
Good for you.
Oh, it does say made in China.
Oops.
Yeah, it's okay.
Don't tell.
Ooh,
All right, you don't have to pay the tariff.
it's a pre-tariff one.
Yes.
Yes, pre-tariff Chinese.
Wonder what mine's made of.
That's great.
My newest item.
Oh,
Can't read nothing no more. Without. Uh-oh, there you go. Is it focusing
That's-
there?
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
My
It
newest
took a
item.
hot minute.
I could have just bet anything that it was. Why is all my stuff reversed? I didn't reverse my. Makes them backwards. You read my stuff backwards. Yeah. Everybody else is straight.
I saw it. It looks straight.
What the reading?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks well. See, it doesn't to me. So. That's
They're this long every time, baby.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
It's set on this end.
We won't worry about it. It's okay. It's okay, Dean. It's all right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay,
that's awesome.
The
This
boss is back.
this
We
is
got
actually my camping
What
knife.
you got there?
This is the only thing Bear Grylls ever made that was worth the crap. So this
Yeah.
is actually my camping knife. That also has a bigger flint inside it. I had
Oh,
I
okay.
well, I was carrying the survival, like the little bracelets with paracord and stuff. They have a little striker in them, but this one was so much bigger and so much more effective. I just started carrying it, but yeah, things for the road. But then I also carried my SOG multi-tool that also has can opener, bottle opener. You gotta have a bottle opener. Little saw.
Like a Leatherman or something, huh?
It's like a Leatherman but better because it's SOG
Yeah.
and it's all stainless. So this one won't rust like the Leather. I've had quite a few Leatherman, and again I love them, but the one bad thing about them is once you cut into a few things they start rusting.
Do they really?
Yeah,
Oh,
That's
wow.
I
bogus.
figured they'd be made out of stainless or something.
Cheap metal.
not
Yeah.
Leatherman. Leatherman
Trying
it's
to-
a high grade steel. It's a high grade copper steel, but yeah, they're not.
Yeah. Not
Stainless doesn't necessarily mean rust proof, though. Unfortunately,
Stainless
there's
won't
different
rust.
levels of
Yeah.
the coating.
Yeah, stainless won't rust
So we
unless
should
you
have been taking
get
notes of
steel
all these
into it.
little items for a checklist. You know,
Yeah.
everybody's said some great stuff.
I would say I could make a
Yeah,
checklist,
yeah.
but I change it every time.
Yeah.
Here's one of the one of the little pip cups I bring with me. I have a couple of these. Let's see.
Just right.
Just right.
Yeah.
I have a few. I have black ones and I have orange ones. Maybe I should go back to Harley and get her to give me some. I'll give some of those away. But yeah, definitely always bring a cup. A cup is a must.
Yeah.
I've got a couple of silicone cups that collapse down flat.
Oh,
They
wow.
pop back up. Those are great for
Those are
early morning coffee. If I
Yeah.
got to make coffee on my own in the mornings,
Yeah.
those are great. But
If I buy something that nice, I'll lose it immediately.
Put it away.
oh,
They're
these
gonna
are
be gone
nice.
for a long time. Like the detergent sheets, you can carry those with you, tear them up into little pieces, and that way you can
had
wash your
grew up
laundry like
around
even
Girl
if
Scouts and Boy
baggy.
Scouts, so I also have one of those canteen kits, or it's like a dinner kit. You open it up. It's a pan and it's a bowl and a cup and
Dish,
yeah,
and a little
dish,
pot.
yeah, all
One.
folded into itself. Yeah,
I had one of those and I burned it up almost immediately. They're great for bowls and holding things when you try to cook on them. They're not very.
yeah,
They're not sticky proof. They're not as
Mm-mm.
what's the fancy word? They're not
Not
as
as resilient as
resilient,
as
yeah.
silicone
There
or
you
go.
Teflon coated.
yeah, they're pretty thin, so they overheat in certain spots.
Mm.
Ask me how I know. When I said I failed at the pan biscuits cooking over fire, that's what I failed at. So
We used to just take the food and roll it up in aluminum foil and stick it in the campfire. Yeah.
My last camping purchase was
Sounds good.
a one-hand pop-up tent. And it works. You unfold it a little bit,
Poof.
bam, lock it, and there it is. It's right in front of you.
Looking cool.
2 seconds.
Yeah, I see ads on Instagram for this, like the best motorcycle camping tent, and the guy shows where he just opens it like this and he poof,
Poof.
and it pops
Yeah.
right up.
Yep.
Yeah,
Should see Fonzie
And it's
in the
small
background.
enough where it's pretty compact.
yeah.
I was shocked.
I have a small one. I have a mid. I had a small one. Me and Diana both used to sleep in it, and it was very elbowy for two of us. Said it was 2-person, it was not. The one I brought to Little Sturgis last year was perfect. It was a mid-size. And then, of course, for a camp out, I'm going to go to Forgotten Angels for like 5 days. Then I bring the Wolfwalker because it's a tent dominium. Garage, extra space, 3 windows, blow through.
Oh wow.
But definitely one thing I will never leave behind, especially for a tent trip, is 2 tarps. And always bring 2 tarps.
Yeah.
That's also probably why I can sleep on the ground. Because bring the tarp, bring a roll-up blanket, a very thick one, and you can sleep on top of it. Like I said, if I get an air mattress, it would probably have to be 3 feet wide for me to be able to sleep on it. Because my arms, I'm an arm spreader when I sleep. So then I have sleeping, like the Passion of the Christ, because my elbows fall off, and I just can't stay up on it.
I had to sleep corner to corner in my tent. It is kind of small, but I'm 6 foot. But,
I've never had any luck with air mattresses. Usually by the morning, I've never found an air mattress that didn't have me on the ground by morning.
Yeah, I either shove it to one side or I end up with my arm off and it just slides to the side.
Yeah.
Diana's a slow sleeper. She doesn't move, so she can lay on it, and where she goes to sleep on it's the same place she wakes up. So I am not that way. I am not that guy.
I actually bought one of those low profile cots, those camping cots that for Babes Ride Out. And that was okay.
I thought about one of those,
comfortable enough.
but it's just like I said, I'm trying to minimize. I don't want to bring a bunch of extra stuff. How'd that work out for you? And how much room did it take up?
It took up that. So I had a 2-person tent too, but it's more like a 1-person tent, and it did take up the entire tent floor. And I had, the only thing I could complain about was the setup was kind of convoluted. But once I got it up, it folds down into about 20-inch long, pack. It folds down nice and small. So I I had packed tent, cot, the little camp stove and the French press, and I had a small camping shovel, folding shovel, and the sleeping bag, and a camping chair. I felt like I needed a chair. There's a little small one. So they make the ones there. It was called Moonlance. It sits low. It's kind of like a beach chair, but it's for camping, and it folds up very small. It's about the same, 20-inch, pack. And I put that all in a dry bag duffel, and put that on the back of my Sportster. For Babes Ride Out. It all fit on there. I got it all on there, plus all my clothes. So
yeah, but you got a fancy sissy bar though, so.
It's not fancy, but it held it in place with the rock straps. So
rock straps.
I had that thing loaded up.
Yeah, I am trying to figure out which bike I want to bring on the Natchez Trace trip. And even so, I did find there's a lot of camping spots on the Natchez Trace. So if we hit the one, obviously the hotel, we're going to start at the hotel in Natchez, and then the next one will be the halfway up. I think it's at the 120 mile mark is another one. So we may not. I don't know. That might not be far enough. So the Natchez from Natchez, Mississippi up to Nashville is 444 miles. And it actually stopped. It didn't go all the way to Nashville. It stops right outside of Franklin. So I don't know. We'll probably just hotel it the whole way.
I was gonna ask. Do I need to bring a tent?
Nah, don't bring a tent. We'll hit a hotel. We'll do GMA style camping. Just stay in hotels. Definitely so. Eureka Springs. I would like stay in like a cabin.
I don't know if you can see that.
That's packed down. Good God, a lot of shit. That's some
Yeah,
glamping.
Shit.
That's a lot of stuff.
That's how I would load it.
But you have everything, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
exactly.
backrest too, eh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my backrest for the ride
Yeah.
home.
That works.
That's Dez's momentum in the background.
If you have guys that haven't already, hit that like button. Get my
That
algorithm up.
Sporty was
That's how
screaming.
mine would look.
I bet it was.
Yeah.
She's got one of the older sporties that actually could
They
handle
have
it.
stuff.
Yeah.
American Outlaw, welcome in. Just saw you pop. Sorry.
Yeah. I hit the like just now.
Yeah, the KOA at Eureka
Button,
Springs
see,
was
hit the-
awesome.
Hit the share button and just hit the copy link, and you don't even have to paste it. No
I
more, but
did
just
camp in Eureka
show up in
Springs.
your
Actually, did
algorithm.
stay in a hotel as well and hit the town. What a great place.
Eureka Springs was pretty awesome. So what we were supposed to do, we were supposed to have a camp out, and it was supposed to be camp out, the weirdos camp out. Everybody was supposed to stay at Eureka Springs or at the KOA. And somewhere along the way, I guess the day before, people started showing up, and instead of going to the KOA, they started going into town and getting into hotels and getting Airbnbs, and it's like, all right, this kind of sucks because we're out here at the KOA, and it's like I want to say like maybe 20 miles into town and then to the other side. So there were a lot of us stayed at the KOA, and then a bunch more people though stayed in town. Well, then it started raining and it got cold. People were like, "Hey, come back into town. We're gonna go to the Angry Beaver, or we're gonna go to the Cat House, and we're gonna go here." And it's like, it's pouring rain, and we're on the other side of town, like 20 minutes away. I'm not riding through rain just to go, to this clubhouse. And they're like, "No, it's right next door to the hotel." I'm like, "We're not in the hotel. We're at the KOA." And they're like, "Oh, wow, that sucks to be you guys." But we still had fun. We had the KOA group that was self-induced fun. We had a little fire going. We had a little shelter and stuff. And we roasted marshmallows and got, roasted hot dogs and just got toasted out there. And then the rest of the group stayed in town and spent a shitload of money to stay in an Airbnb and then complained about it. So, fine. Jerry stayed at a hotel too. Jerry was our guest of honor actually at the KOA. We had a little party for him, gave him some freebies and shit. Go Jerry. All right, Cal Fire. One more thing you wouldn't go camping without.
Definitely extra pairs of underwear.
Who needs underwear? It's camping. Come on. I have said a million times, you can wear the same shirt at least 2 days in a row. You can wear the same pants every day, but you got to change your socks and underwear sometimes twice a day, especially in Little Sturgis, which is another place where the dude wipes.
Anywhere in the South.
The dude wipes pay off, absolutely.
A lot of powder.
It's quite sweaty.
All right, we're about to that point. I'm going to go ahead and pull the first name if my Pillion wants to pull the first name. So what should we get? The panel can decide what we want to give away first. We want to give away the coasters, or do we want to give away the throttle lock / helmet holder? And that's what I use it for. So I don't need a throttle lock because I got electronic start and everything. So I use this as a helmet lock for the bike. I actually lock this, and on the Harley, I put it on the sissy bar. I lock that to the sissy bar, put the helmet strap through there or through there, and it's got a cool little key, and it holds it on. So, waiting for our drawer. While we wait,
What do you do with your camera?
I bring it with me. I take pictures.
Just take, yeah.
Yeah, I put it on little. So what I've got. Let's see if I can find this. So all of my either the tripods, the handhelds, and everything has these little quick connects on them, where I can pull off real quick.
Wow.
Oh.
So
Nice.
I have 2 cameras. So I put one on the helmet, one on the handlebars, one on a quick connect, and I put one on like something that's mounted to the back where I can take pictures like from the CC bar or from the luggage rack or whatever. So that just makes it real easy to just pull this off. This stays, I'll put that back in the bike in the luggage if I put this on the handlebars, or I'll put it on my helmet or whatever. And so, all right. hang on. Let's get a drum roll. She's here.
Who did that, Clark?
Let's see.
Christmas Vacation.
Dashboard drummer, huh?
Oh,
Get the spinner.
yeah.
Is it doing a drum roll?
Hold on. It's spinning. I keep seeing people's names.
She's rolling.
It's stopping.
Okay, what do we give away first? The coasters or the? You guys decide. What are we giving away?
Do the throttle lock. Do the make the coasters the grand prize.
All right. Throttle lock
There you
is
Quick shoe
The
sticks.
chicks.
Quick Shoe. So Quick Shoe wins the throttle lock.
Yay!
Yeah.
Congratulations, Quick Shoe.
I think he's gone already.
He's already stepped out, but I will make sure we put that aside for him.
Sweet.
Ready for the next one?
Are we ready for the next one?
Here.
Spin, spin,
Can you
spin,
hear
spin,
this?
spin, 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 spin,
Let me see.
spin.
Here we go.
There.
Did that come through?
And it went through.
Evil Rick?
And the winner is
Evil Rick?
Evil Rick.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Evil Rick.
Yay.
Are you still on, Rick? He did. All right. Evil Rick, these are yours. So make sure you email me an address and I'll get these out to you. And this is what she's. There we go.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
nice.
Cool.
Nice.
All right. All right. So, final thoughts. Let's run through everybody. Let's start with Jake from State Farm.
If the weather's changing, it's getting better. Go out and do some riding. Make some memories. Go camping. Go riding. Go right across the country. Right across the state. Right across the county. Go get it done.
Yeah. Nice.
Just ride.
Just ride.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. And I'll throw in, let's see. Why not? We got a couple little stickers from, see if I can get that on there. Let's see if I can hold it right side up.
It's all right.
Got a couple of stickers from Southern Thunder Harley Davidson. It's not showing up well, but I'll throw that in the pack too. And of course, you get a Rainy Rider sticker wherever I throw them. There we go. So both you guys will get. Why is my camera doing this? So both you guys will get some Rainy Rider stickers. And
Yeah.
I got to get you a new one, Jake. The new one has the little YouTube logos and crap on it.
Oh, it's got the YouTube on it.
So yep,
That's cool.
those were made by Graceful
I got
Darkness.
the original.
Yep, Graceful Darkness made those. Our little friend down in Tampa. So
Nice.
or more Orlando, I guess.
She makes.
But if you guys don't know, she makes a lot of stickers. She makes pins. She makes a lot of stuff. So
Yeah, I get my stickers done by her.
she makes absolutely cool stickers.
Yeah, she does a good job. She has nice stuff.
All right, is Crash still in here? Did Crash already step out?
Crash is here. Not too far back.
All right, I have to send Crash something cool. Since he was the first person to comment, that's got to count for something. Crash, there you are. All right, Crash, I'll have to give you something really cool too. I'll dig it out for you. And so drop me the address. I'll send you something cool. Definitely gonna send you some new stickers, and maybe I'll send you a Edie Ridge hat. No, that's what I'll do. I'll send Crash an Edie Ridge buff. A new one, not one that I've been using. I just ordered a bunch, so I'll make sure he gets one. All right, Kelfire, final thoughts.
Look twice, save a life does not only apply to those people in cars. It also applies to bikers. Please look, pay attention.
Good,
Expect the unexpected.
good advice.
Yes.
All right, just a biker girl.
Ride the bike, take the ride. Like your cup says, just ride.
Just right.
But pack for any type of weather you might encounter. Don't assume that it's going to be rainy days and sunshine, and then get rained on. Pack your rain gear, pack your leathers,
Mhm.
pack your t-shirts. Just be ready to ride.
Be ready to ride. That's a good one. All right, sick bastard.
Oh. Pack light, but pack smart.
Pack light.
Just pack. Don't forget to pack.
But don't forget to pack.
Yeah.
Don't forget to pack. Don't forget your underwear. Yeah. All
Yeah.
Yes.
right, Motorbomb.
I was trying to think of something great. Go watch a sunrise some morning. Get up
There you
and
go.
watch it come alive. That's something I haven't done in a while, and had on my mind to do soon.
Nice.
Yep.
Let's see if that happens.
I absolutely agree. Sometimes going to work when the sun's coming up, you feel more alive.
Mhm.
It just makes you feel like you're part of the world.
Watching it come up over the water. We got the, Chesapeake over here, and just it's amazing. It's so huge, and it happens pretty fast.
Yeah. You'd be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks so big on the horizon.
It do, yeah.
That's great advice.
like
Take some time
water
and enjoy
magnifies
what's
it.
around you.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Stop and unplug.
Spiff says, "Stay gold, pony boy." All right, from
Let
me.
somebody cut in front of you too. How's that? Out on the road, let somebody cut in front of you without
Yeah. Oh,
without
absolutely.
cursing.
Sometimes I think it's just like I'll get frustrated sometimes because people are driving like idiots and they do something dumb, and then I realize I could let them go and let them get away from me and let them be somebody else's problem.
Yeah,
They don't need to be mine.
yeah. Ego's
Yeah,
terrible.
downgrade them from the number 1 position to the number 2
Yeah, the last
position.
place I want someone that's driving like that is behind me.
Anywhere
So
near me.
I let
yeah.
them go, let them get out, so that way I can keep an eye on them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Keep them up front.
Yeah, that's bad because you got to keep your eye all the time on the person tailgating you
Mhm.
because they're the danger at that point,
Yeah.
and so you lose a lot of your
Focus.
what's in front of you
Yeah.
too. So
Yeah.
it is a smart thing. Just that's what I should have did the other day. I was telling Sycamores I had one really bad. He was on me so hard, and I stopped like to give him that that dirty look, like what are you
Mhm.
doing?
Yeah. Why are you
And
so
then he
close?
honked at me and all that, and I was just like, but the traffic was so thick, I really had nowhere to go. But I wanted to take the shoulder and get in front of somebody else.
Yeah.
I just wave lots, especially if they just really piss me off and they give you that look like they just don't know what they did. Just wave at them, nod. You can think they're an idiot in your head and cuss all you want to, but just wave, nod, keep going, get out of their way,
Yeah,
keep rolling.
yeah. Somebody gets angry, and they ain't thinking and impulsive. They just could run right into you just out of their own anger. Really not mean to do it, but end up doing it.
Road rage.
Somebody once told me, I've been to a lot of counseling and therapy and stuff, but somebody once told me the things in your head never matter because they never get out. Once they come out of your mouth, they're there forever. You can never take them back.
Yeah.
So you can always rethink the things in your head and recalculate and go, oh, well, that was wrong. Once it's out of your mouth, it makes it harder to take it back, and 2, it makes it harder to apologize.
Sometimes
just
you regret, don't
let it
I wish I
go.
would have said that.
Yeah.
Oh, I do that all the time.
Yeah.
I
Right?
should have said
Be a good
that.
ambassador.
I have thought that before. I've thought, oh, I should have said this, and I should have said that, and then it doesn't take me long to realize, there's somebody else's problem now. That doesn't have to be my problem anymore. So, I'm reminded of
99% right here between these ears, man, is where my problems lie.
you know how Oprah.
Every time.
Yeah, Oprah back in the day, remember when Oprah first came out, she was like, today's episode is men, why they breathe and how you can stop them. So she would bring on a lot of like revenge things, and one of them she brought on was this girl they brought on, and she's a gorgeous girl now, and she wants revenge on an ex that spurned her. And she talked about this guy that dated her, and then he broke up with her, and he treated her like crap, and and then she was dating every guy, and she's like, I'm going to make him regret ever leaving me. So they bring this guy out, and they hide her, and they talk about, hey, you're in high school, here you're kind of a ladies' man. He's like, well, in high school I was kind of a jerk. I didn't realize I just want to be liked by my friends, and I did what they did, and I was actually like a complete jerk. He says, well, I really want you to meet this person from your high school. Welcome her back. And he comes out and he looks at her and he's like, do I know you? He goes, oh yeah, you dated me when I was fat and you didn't like me and you did this and you. He's like, I'm really sorry. She goes, well, I want you to regret what you did. He goes, I do regret it. I'm sorry. He goes, well, I bet you want me back now, don't you? And he's like, no, I'm married and I have kids and I'm happy where I am. And the funny thing was, he was like very serene, very calm. He was had a lot of serenity. She was fuming still after he said, yeah, I'm sorry, you know. I think sometimes when you spurn people, they can never let it go. And you say things like that, and it makes you realize you just gotta let this stuff go, or it will cook you from the inside. Someone will take up space in your head for free.
Yeah.
And they will crap all over your floors, and they're not even paying rent. So just let it go.
Never let someone live rent free inside your head.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sometimes easier said than done, but that is
You got to work on it. Well, you got
fact.
to. Yeah.
And when you get to it, like, well, I'm the one that gives it the power for them to do that. Like, why would I do that? Because I got feelings and emotions that are out of whack sometimes.
Yep. I've been told before that the serenity doesn't come for free. That's why you have to pray for it. That's why there's a serenity prayer. You got to work it. You got to work it. All right. With that, we're going to go ahead and close. Thanks everyone for coming. Make sure you hit that like button before you leave. And if you won something, email me on the YouTube right up there in the about comment. There's a YouTube link. I know it works because Motobomb emailed me last night. So email me, send me your address, and I'll make sure you get the prize that you won. With that, let's see if my music's working now. Probably not.
Thanks for having us, by the way.
Thanks for coming on.
Yes, thank you. Sorry I was late.
It's fine. Make sure tomorrow, let's turn the music down.
Oh,
Make sure.
I won't be late tomorrow.
Let's see if this is the porn music or it's the goodbye music. All right. Make sure everybody pops in tomorrow night, and we're going to interview Kelpfire. So like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell, and I will see you guys tomorrow night. Everybody say bye.
Bye.